Hi, everybody. It's Nicole Pierce, and we're back again for Career Conversations with Nicole. I have one of my great friends and colleagues with me, Nicole Clearich. She's from Smith & Howard, and she's a recruiter there. Hey, Nicole, I'm so glad you're joining us. This topic is going to be fun.
It's always fun with you.
I appreciate that. Well, just for anybody that doesn't know where you work and who Smith & Howard is, can you give us just a short, brief discussion about who they are?
Absolutely. Smith& Howard is a mid-size accounting firm. We're located in Midtown, Atlantic Station, for those of you who are familiar with the area. We have been around for just about 50 years. Our founders started on September 15th, which is a bit of an odd date for accountants to start a firm, but they did. And in the 50 years since, we've developed this great culture, this great place to work, great client service. We have a very unique distinction that we have never merged with another firm. We've never bought another firm. We've never even so much as bought a book of business. And 15 years ago, we had around 45 employees. Today, we have close to 130, and we're hiring. With all the craziness of the COVID pandemic and, people having worries about their businesses. There have been firms where they've done pay cuts. There have been firms where there have been layoffs. And I am very proud that our leaders had the foresight to have disaster plans in place so that we have done none of those. And on top of that, we are still hiring.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm excited about our topic. The topic today is all about offer management and how students can manage offers in this virtual world. I think it's a great topic.
I think it's an excellent topic, and it's, me, I have a lot to say on all topics.
Well, great. I'm glad to hear it. The first question is, and to be honest with you, I got this question from many students when COVID-19 first had started, was do students need to be thankful for receiving an offer at this time?
I think that students should always be thankful for receiving an offer, even when you have the high performing Beta Alpha Psi officers, top of their class, those are the students that tend to get multiple offers. You should always be thankful for an offer.
So another question is, does students need to take the first offer that they get during this virtual time?
Absolutely not. Accounting students are still highly coveted. They have skill sets that other people just do not have. I think that if a firm really wants you, they'll give you time to make a decision. If they're doing something, I like to call them exploding offers. This offer is only good for 3 days. This offer is only good for a week. That's kind of a scare tactic to make you take it. If you know that you still have other interviews scheduled, or in the case of the summer, you still have other summer leadership programs to attend, and you get an offer, unless you know in your heart that this is your number one choice, you're not going to go anywhere else, you're going to cancel attending the other interviews and the other summer leadership programs, you need to say, I am so honored. I would love to work here, but I've made commitments to other firms, other companies, for whether it's interviews or summer leadership programs. And I feel I owe it to both myself and to them to see it through. Can I have until, and give yourself a couple of days after that final event, to make a decision. If they really want you, they're going to wait. And if they can't wait, they'll come back and they'll give you another deadline.
Well, and so what's crazy to me is your answer, honestly, is basically it goes back to what it was before COVID-19, that this pandemic hasn't really changed the students' offer kind of patterns of just asking for extensions and still seeking their best fit. And I am so thankful that that's what you said, because at some point I was nervous for our students. I actually lived through the recession of 2008. I had just graduated from my undergrad, and I was not as lucky at that time. So it's good to hear that our students and the major they selected are still in a good place. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So, well, this is another hard question, and give us the honest, okay?
Always.
Should students worry about losing an offer after receiving one? And how can they combat the fear of losing that offer? Because I have had so many students during the past couple months just contact me being very nervous about, well, I had this offer, but should I be nervous that it's going to go away? So
Um, I would love to be able to say no,
I know.
but I have heard of some firms that have rescinded summer or offers for summer internships. I
Mhm.
think that any offers they have received post April 1st, or let's even go with May 1st, I don't think they're going to need to worry about it because at that point, people have already sort of recalibrated and reforecasted. So I don't think they're going to need to worry at this point. I think back in March, yes, it was very much a valid concern, especially when there were national firms canceling their internships.
Yeah.
Uh, I think people need to remain flexible. I I mean, I don't think there should be any more fear than there would be otherwise because you never know when a company could be hit by a scandal and go
Right.
under.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were people who had jobs waiting for them at Enron at one point or at
Yeah.
Arthur Andersen. I think that if the firm is communicating with you openly and frequently, you definitely don't need to worry. If you do have concerns, go to your contact at the firm and you can sort of couch it as several of my friends have had their offers rescinded for XYZ time frame. I just wanted to know how secure my offer is. I'm really, and make sure you say something to the effect of how excited you are to come work there and to be there. Um, if you can't get a straight answer from the firm, that's a little telling. Now, the answer might be, as of right now, everything's going to proceed as planned. You've got to be okay with that answer.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I agree with what you said too. You got to couch it as you're excited. I also told one student that they could just really try to hit the button of I just want to know how the firm's doing. I'm about to be employed there. Just checking in on you, making sure everything is okay with everybody there on staff.
Absolutely.
So that yeah, I think that's great. So the hard question here could be if they are feeling uncertain. Like one student said, should I start going out and networking again? And just like I know, if a student went out there and started networking after having an offer, it looks poorly on them to some extent, right? So should they be out there kind of checking out what's on the other side of the hill? I don't know.
Um, it's a very slippery slope. I am
Yeah.
a huge fan of networking. So there's nothing wrong with staying in touch with people you've already met, asking them, hey, how are things at your firm? How are you? How is your family? Things like that. That kind of networking, I think, is fine. If there's a student that's already accepted an offer from my firm, and then 2 weeks later, I see them talking to other firms at a career fair, I'm not going to feel great about that.
No.
A couple of years ago, we actually had a student in the MAC program who had already accepted an offer with us, who reached out to me, and I think he was very nervous because a requirement for the MAC students was that they had to attend the career fair.
Oh
But
yeah.
he wanted to be explicitly clear with me. He's like, I have to attend. It's a requirement. I am fully committed to Smith and Howard. While I'm there, can I help out at the booth? And I was like, you know what? We could actually use help at the booth. It'll allow us to all take lunch breaks. And, since he had already done at that point, I think 2 internships with us, he could tell students exactly what to expect. But the key there was the communication. He let me know that he had to be there or that he was going to be there, you know?
Yes. And I love this example, and I love that one of our Mac students was so upfront. But I mean, you don't want those sly students that are like, I'm just not going to walk by their booth and I'm going to go see everybody else. So that is a big no-no, and I want to make sure our students hear that clearly.
It's definitely a no-no, and I'm just to illustrate why it could be a no-no. I have virtual coffees every few weeks with Kristen at Bennett Thrasher. I am constantly on email threads with Nicole and Rachel at Aprio. That also includes Kristen at Bennett Thrasher. It includes Christine at Fraser and Dieter. It includes Laura at Wyndham Brannon. It includes Jamie at William Spinator Libby. We all know each other. We consider each other colleagues and friends, and there have absolutely been times when several of us have given an offer to either the same student or the same experienced candidate, and we hear that they got a job with the other, and some of it might even be jealousy. It's mostly good-natured ribbing. Hey, I heard you got Nicole, but
really what that comes down to is
hi,
that
everybody.
just the Atlanta
That's the
community
end of part
is so
one
tight knit
of
that
Really?
you
Feel
think
free
if the student thinks they're going
stay
to
with
get
us
it
and
past
watch
the
the second part
recruiters,
as we cover
they're
more great
wrong.
content. Until next time.